course you want to be a champion. Of course you want to be working towards winning titles.
Be happy, but never satisfied.
Better than ever.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are filming live today from Kelowna, BC, in the Thompson-Okanagan region, which is situated on the traditional unceded territory of three interior Salish nations, the Syilx, the Secwepemc, and the Nakow-Pamau people. We are sponsored today by Discraft, BE Ultimate, and this event is brought to you by Ultimate Canada. We are at the Canadian Ultimate Championships Masters, and we are about to watch the women's division finals. Who do we have playing today, Grace?
So we have StellO there in the dark jerseys on the left of the field, coming out of Ontario, and then we have VANS in the white pulling the disc, and they'll be coming out of Vancouver.
Both these teams have fought long and hard this weekend. We've talked a lot about the heat, the injuries, all the factors of just playing a 3-day ultimate tournament. These teams have both traveled, of course, StellO traveling a long way out of Ottawa versus VANS coming from Vancouver. They have both worked hard to make it here, and both teams, I'm sure, would love to go home with gold.
A lot of these players, I'm sure, have a bit of history too. Stella and Traffic being senior teams that have a lot of the similar players, and those two teams really matching up quite often against each other. So they're always hard-fought games and nice and tight, and I imagine this one will be very similar.
So players on these teams have faced each other in tournaments before, you're saying?
I'm sure they have, yep.
Okay. So a little bit of history here between some of these players. Let's see what happens here. I am Jamie Ihaxi, by the way, and I'm joined by Grace Freiheit. We have been loving this ultimate action all weekend long, and I am super excited for this women's finals action, and we are off. Nice pull there, and we got StellO in purple. Is that right?
That is correct, yep.
StellO in the dark jerseys out of Ottawa, moving the disc up the field. Melissa Dunbar holding the disc, and it looks like we have a call on the field.
It's a pick-up field, it looks like.
When a call is made, all the players have to hold their position. So you'll notice throughout the game, if there's a call, the players wait exactly where they were so that the play can resume just as it was. Melissa Dunbar will start off with the disc for StellO out of Ottawa here. Good forward movement there and a layout catch by Jessie Brown, putting it up to the end zone. A defensive effort by Tasia Balding, but unable to knock it out of the air, and StellO comes down with it for an early point there.
Yeah, that was a beautiful put there. Just had enough loft. The defensive player doing her best and just couldn't bring it down.
Okay, so strong start there for StellO. VANS now in white. VANS from Vancouver looking to respond. We have had two sort of East Coast, West Coast finals here with a Vancouver team just winning the Open division over a Nova Scotia team. Is there an advantage to playing closer to home, do you think, Grace?
I don't think so. In situations like this, Kelowna is a wonderful place to play. We don't really have wind. We don't really have an excess of anything. So it's a bit of a hometown thing when you're dealing with maybe a little bit more elements like you might have on the East Coast.
A solid pull there, putting VANS deep in their end zone. Looks like the stall count's climbing there. VANS trying to work the disc out of their own end zone. Swinging across and missed. Jenny Lowe unable to bring that down. StellO with an opportunity for a break point, and they find it right away. Jackie Mann catching that in the end zone. 2-point lead for StellO.
Yeah, that was hard defense. They really clamped down, and that was a beautiful pull, pinned them back, and VANS just didn't seem to have an answer there on offense. They looking a little bit stagnant. StellO's D came down hot and really clamped down, caused the turn, and capitalized. One quick break throw, and it was all over.
Well, this puts some early pressure on the VANS offense to respond to this. Do you think VANS was maybe not expecting such a deep pull there? They were deep in their own end zone and seemed a little bit panicked on how to get it out of their own end zone.
Yeah, I don't know about not expecting it. There's some amazing pullers coming out of StellO, but just looked like they didn't have the upfield movement that they needed. Nobody really initiating the cuts, and kind of left Betsy there a little bit stranded in the handler position.
Well, StellO out of Ottawa with an early lead. Still anyone's game, of course. VANS looking to respond, needing to get a point on the board here. Fukuoka moving the disc up to the sidelines to Mason, and Mason putting it up quick, a bit of a floater. Brought down by number 89, Carolyn Churchland. And it is called in by the observer. Just the response they were looking for, Grace.
Yeah, that's two beautiful hucks, one from each team here. These women really showing their skills with the disc right now. Really some beautiful deep looks, and making it entertaining for us all watching.
Well, a quick point there for VANS. Still going to need to find a break point to make up for that previous break point from StellO there. And of course, the StellO offense now going to be receiving the disc with an opportunity to get a two-point lead in this game. Currently, it stands 2-1 for the team in dark out of Ottawa, 2-1 from the team in white out of Vancouver. All right. Little conversation on the sideline. VANS defense is ready. They're going to be pulling the disc over to StellO. I'm sure they're going to want to get that disc as far into their zone as they can and run down there to put some pressure on, see if they can find the break point they need to tie up this game. StellO taking the disc, center of the field, quick pass up to Jesse Brown. Jesse Brown drops it off and gets it back for a give and go and puts it up, forehand huck. Melissa Dunbar brings it down, throws the disc in the air for a celebration.
Got some beautiful deep looks out of these two teams. It's not something we've seen so far in the women's matchups we've been streaming, and it's quite entertaining to watch. There's just really some beautiful throws out there right now.
Yes, what a forehand huck to the end zone, and Melissa Dunbar chasing that down, bringing it down, bringing her team 2 points over the Vancouver team. It is 3-1. 3-1. Again, a little bit of pressure here on the Vancouver offense to respond to this early points from StellO.
Yeah, their last O-line looked good out there, so let's see if they can bring it again.
Gesundheit.
Sorry, thank you.
Oh, VANS, a little bit of calling there, maybe getting fired up for this next point. The pull is up. VANS taking it in the center of the field, quickly moving it up. Jessica Rockcliffe moving it up to Laura Mason on the sideline here. Oh, we had someone fall over in the center there.
I think she just got clipped on the way by as the VANS player was cutting up line.
Allison Tanis gave a signal. Looks like she will be taking an injury substitution. And it looks like we have Jessie Brown coming on in her place. Looks like maybe just an accidental stumble there. Play resumes with VANS in control on the sideline here. Oh, and a huge interception. Jessie Brown just comes onto the field and makes a huge play for StellO. Gets it back and puts it up forehand into the end zone.
A little bit of double happiness there from the sub that came in for the injury. Was a wise decision. It seems to put her on the field.
MC Jacques bringing that down for the point for StellO. Jessie Brown comes off for an injury substitution and decides it's time to get a point.
Absolutely. That was a clean offense from them and really strong D.
Looks like we have a timeout called for VANS, probably trying to figure out what they can do to deal with this momentum from StellO.
Yeah, I think they just need to calm it down a bit. They have some phenomenal players, and when they do get the disc moving, it moves well. So just need to take a little breather, really get their offense rolling, start those cuts early, and get a little bit hyped up here.
A little cheer there. Hopefully we'll get them the motivation they need to turn this game around right now. StellO is leading 4-1. The team out of Ottawa in the dark jerseys, finding those break points, putting a lot of pressure on VANS to turn this game around. Now, we have seen twice this tournament that early leads can be lost.
Absolutely. Yeah, the men's final proving that just because you have a bit of a rocky start doesn't mean you can't take the game. So maybe VANS can do the same thing.
Yes, a 3-point deficit is a big deficit. However, we have seen teams bring this back, and that is what VANS is going to try to do here. They need to start with a solid defensive or offensive line here and get this point as soon as they can. Okay, hands are up. StellO will be pulling the disc over to VANS. And the pull stays in bounds, puts them right on the end zone line, and good hustle by StellO to get down there and put some early defensive pressure on. VANS able to make a swing over to the sideline. Jessie Bell moving it up. Kim Sai dropping it back, and it is a forehand put up the field here. Caught nicely by Jennifer Kwok. Kwok drops it back. Maria Chow looking to find this point, moves it over to the sidelines. And a pick called. Laura Mason holding the disc in possession for VANS. Looking to close this point off here, convert this. They are so close to the end zone here. And dropped. Jennifer Kwok unable to grab that low throw there. And the StellO line here with an opportunity to get a 4-point lead. Brianna Jaffrey. And it is up and caught. MC Jacques chasing that down, not in the end zone, has to bring it back out, does a little chip throw up over the top, and caught by Sam Lee. StellO in command of this game, Grace.
Yeah, another beautiful put deep by both sides, and it's amazing to watch these throws. Their offenses on both sides looking really, really good. Just StellO's D really clamping down and causing some turns on Van's side. And they've proven that when they do get those turns, they're a very efficient team, really capitalizing on it.
We have seen throughout this tournament how costly it can be to turn over the disc, especially when you are on the verge of the opponent's end zone. VANS unable to find that conversion, and StellO punishing them on that turnover. Well, like we've been saying, VANS certainly not out of this game, but they do need to find an answer, and soon. They will be receiving the disc on the right side of the field in white. VANS out of Vancouver, trailing 1-4. They need to get something started here. Hands are up, and here comes the pull. Drifting to the sidelines. Looks like it stays inbounds, or at least landed inbounds. Betsy Chan has it on the sidelines, needs to offload that disc. Able to find number 26, Johanna Elias. Able to move it off the sideline there to Nichols. Good movement up the field to Parker. Parker looking up the field, puts a forehand up there, drifting towards the sidelines, but caught by Allison Short. Can they convert this point right at the end zone? And a forehand chip up to Nicola Parker, getting the point, bringing it 5-2.
Two traffic players there working together well. It's like they've got some chemistry from some of the other teams they're bringing to this game. It looked good out there, nice and clean, and I'm sure VANS is looking to do a lot more of that.
Well, that is just the kind of play that VANS needed. Solid movement up the field, big throws when they could get them, and converting this time at the end zone, making sure they're not going to cause a turnover. And StellO, of course, working hard on defense, but unable to stop them there.
Kelowna's own Ashley Davidson out on the line there, doing a few jogs, making sure she still remembers how to run.
And that's for VANS, is that right?
That is for VANS, yes.
Well, VANS is lucky to have Ashley Davison on the team. VANS is going to need more of that solid play, though. They are still in a 3-point deficit here, and the StellO offense is going to be looking to grow their lead. And they are ready. Hands are up. And here comes the pull. StellO taking the disc in the center of the field. Quick pass, swinging it over to the sideline here. Looks like it's Jesse Brown putting up another huck here, trying to find Adria Quigley. Quigley unable to find that disc.
That's the second deep look for Quigley there. So proving to be quite the deep threat. A little bit of a speedy lady, it looks like.
Do you think StellO doesn't mind those kind of turnovers that put VANS deep in their own zone?
I mean, I imagine they don't love it, but it's definitely a better starting position than if you were to turn it over midfield.
Okay, but VANS trying to gain some field space here, but denied. Great defense by Jesse Brown. Jesse Brown is working hard in this first half, Grace.
Absolutely, yep.
Defensively and offensively, StellO. Oh, StellO drops it, however. VANS, quick pickup here, trying to convert. And it is put up. Diving catch by Kelowna's own Ashley Davidson there.
All of her teammates joking with her. She has a bit of a nagging injury and looking like it's not too bad out there, putting her body on the line.
Ashley Davidson is a steward of the sport of ultimate here in Kelowna for players of all levels, coaches, local teams, hosts local tournaments. And I said VANS is lucky to have her, and she proved why, putting her body on the line to bring home that point. VANS closing the distance here with a break point. It is 5-3 for Ottawa, for the team from Ottawa. Little timeout here. StellO may be trying to put a pause on that excitement from VANS.
Yeah, VANS a team, if they do get momentum, I think they can run with it. So StellO probably just wanting to try and keep rein on that. Maybe not quite letting them get the lead that VANS can take if they get the momentum of the game.
Well, great momentum and great plays from VANS, but StellO remains in control of this game with a 2-point lead. The team in the dark jerseys out of Ottawa is looking to stay in control here with their offensive line out. You can see them talking out there, setting up a game plan. I'm sure they would love a quick point that we've seen that they're capable of. VANS still on the sideline, sorting out their defense. I'm sure VANS would love to stack up some break points, Grace.
Yeah, absolutely. They were looking strong that last point, hard defense. So let's see if we can see some more of that.
And it is up. StellO taking it in the center of the field. Quick movement up and a swing over to the sideline. Zhao has it. Swinging over to Jesse Brown in the middle with the disc. Dumping it back. And good movement upfield there. Continuing it up the sideline. Quigley looking to continue it at, and it's put up. Dunbar getting it to the end zone, and it is caught. StellO back on track here, extending their lead. It is 6-3 for the team from Ottawa.
Those are wonderful throws to get as a cutter, just right into space. You have all the space and all the time to run it onto discs like that. To note, there was a bit of a bracket on defense. Betsy Chan and Jessie Bell doing a bit of some trading just to take away, have an extra look on that deep throws. that we seem to see a lot of here. So maybe a little bit more of those bracketing from VANS, cutting off those deep throws and making them think about it a little more and work a little harder.
Well, we have seen that VANS is capable of scoring here, capable of finding those break points, but they still have a lot of work to do in this first half if they're going to close the distance and tie up this game. They are 3 points up behind here. And it's going to start here with this offensive line. They'll be receiving the disc from StellO. Looks like they're ready. Here comes the pull. And the disc is up. Again, we see a floaty pull and a super fast defense charging down to put the pressure on by StellO. VANS unfazed, though, getting it to half. Jennifer Kwok with the disc on the sideline, swinging it back to the middle for Mason, who continues it across over to Chow. And it is up. Good defensive effort, but not good enough. Is that Jennifer Kwok bringing down that disc for VANS?
Some good movement there on VANS' part. They had it on the sideline and looked to center it, just working with a lot more of the field, and looked pretty sharp.
We have seen this StellO defense charge down the field on this pull, and it seemed to have been having an effect early in the game, but VANS were unfazed that point. They were able to throw right past them and convert that point, Grace.
Yeah, some really great pulls and some very, very quick women running down the field. It's those first throws when you don't have open looks sometimes makes you think about it a little extra. I know I personally don't love making that first throw when teams are coming down hot like that.
Yes, and, turnover right at your own end zone we've seen is often a disaster, but VANS avoided that, moved the disc up the field, and found the conversion there. It is now 6-4. If VANS can find a break point here, they will be closing in on tying up this game. The disc is up here, and of course, StellO going to try to prevent that. Moving it up the field, finding Zhao there. Melissa Dunbar with the disc. Moving it forward up to Julie Vachon. Nice diagonal cut back to Dunbar. And Dunbar putting it up. And it is caught. Alicia Zhao bringing down the disc, extending their lead 7-4 over the team from Vancouver.
Same beautiful break throw there. VANS has to do a little bit better job putting a mark on her. She has those around throws and is just making it look easy right now, putting it into space for her cutters.
The VANS defense, now, are they trying to prevent those throws to that side of the end zone?
I don't know how much they're trying, but they should be maybe putting a little bit more effort on that mark. Specifically, that one player is really breaking them.
Well, it does look like they have had a couple wide open catches in the end zones there. StellO is threatening to enter halftime with a 4-point lead here if they can find a break point. And VANS offense here going to be working to close that distance. It's starting to get hot out here, Grace.
Yeah, it's warming up here on the turf. I'm sure the women are feeling it out there.
Yes. We are not running around, and I'm feeling it here at the tent here. Okay, VANS taking it center field. Again, this pressure from the StellO defense. And found Jessie Brown. Another huge turnover here. She seems to be everywhere on the field today.
Yeah, those two players on offense, their job was to clear out, to leave all that space, and just didn't quite clear out fast enough. One of their players poaching and getting that D.
Well, Jesse Brown created an amazing opportunity. Dunbar moves it up. Quigley looking to convert here. Swings it back over to Dunbar. Dunbar patiently waiting, back to Brown. Jesse Brown, who created this opportunity with that amazing defensive play. A bit of a risky throw, but it is brought down. Number 48, Jackie Mann. And it is put up and in. The team from Ottawa, StellO, going into halftime with a 4-point lead, Grace.
Yeah, it's VANS have got to have an answer right now. They're just not quite pushing hard enough. StellO doing a really good job on defense and converting all their turns right now. So VANS at half needs to come up with an option on offense that's going to get past this hard D of StellO.
We have seen throughout this tournament how sometimes the defensive efforts of even just one player like Jesse Brown can create such huge opportunities and lead to these score deficits like we see. Ottawa, the team from Ottawa, 4 points ahead. VANS is going to have to turn it on in the second half, Grace.
Absolutely, yeah. Right now, there's just a few key players on StellO that VANS just don't seem to have an answer for. Dunbar being one of them with her unbelievable throws right now. So let's see if at half VANS can turn it around and get a tight game here.
I agree, Grace. Well, we've got to thank our sponsors. We got Discraft, BE Ultimate here, brought to you by Ultimate Canada. We're going to take a short break, and we will be back with the conclusion of this game, the second half of the women's division final at the Canadian Ultimate Championships Masters. Thank you. Welcome back, folks. We are here to see the conclusion of the women's division finals at the Canadian Ultimate Championship Masters. We have StellO in the dark jerseys with a commanding lead here, 8-4 over VANS. StellO out of Ottawa and VANS out of Vancouver. It'll be StellO pulling the disc and VANS starting off on offense, and they've got some ground to make up here, Grace.
Absolutely, they do. I'm sure they're pretty happy they're starting on offense. So we'll see if during the timeout they came up with some sort of an answer for StellO's D.
We've also seen how, there is time limits to these games. There's a bit of a time pressure on this VANS team as well to find these points as quickly as they can. Isn't that right?
Yeah, they don't want to be capping this game.
Really strong cut there by Aaron Bussin. And a good shot up the sidelines caught by Louisa Tui. And it's put up and caught in bounds there by Laura Mason. She had to stick one foot in bounds and the rest of her body went flying out of bounds.
Yeah, that's just a small correction. There's Nicola Parker isolated there in the cutting field and did an unbelievable job. Big yards there for Nicola.
Okay. Well, that is the beginning of what the VANS team from Vancouver needed there. It is now 8-5. VANS now going to need to find some points with their defensive line. Isn't that right, Grace?
Absolutely. They need some big turnovers here and to capitalize on it. If they stay just holding, they're not going to be able to come back this game.
Well, StellO, the team from Ottawa, going to do their best. We have seen earlier this game that they are capable of big throws, fast cuts, and quick points here. Let's see if VANS can put some of the defensive pressure on StellO that they've been receiving. Nice big pull here, and you can see them charging down the field here. Jesse Brown moving the disc towards the sideline there, over to Dunbar. We've seen Brown and Dunbar leading this StellO offense this game. Dunbar unable to find a player there, and VANS now has that opportunity for a break point. VANS moving the disc up the field, but a giant layout defensive play by Melissa Dunbar. Looks like maybe made some contact with Tiffany Jung there on VANS.
We hope she's all right. VANS doing a bit of a zone look there and really came out strong. StellO just not having an answer for VANS zone, so I'm sure we'll be seeing more of that.
Okay, looks like Tiffany Jung is walking off the field. She will get a substitution, but how about that defensive effort by Melissa Dunbar, Grace?
Absolutely. I'm just looking to see there might be a foul call or maybe it was a clean D. I think she's just checking to make sure she didn't hurt Tiffany Jung too much.
Now, in order for it to be a clean defensive play, Melissa Dunbar has to contact the disc first. Is that correct?
Correct, and it's just, you're not supposed to be making bids where you're going to create contact. It's a bit of a dangerous play when you are throwing your body out, knowing that you're going to be hitting the offensive player. It's just not quite the bids we want to be seeing. It's It's a little bit dangerous. That's how people get hurt. We don't want to see that. We love the pressure. It's just a bit much.
Tiffany Jung and Melissa Dunbar having a little conversation here with the observer. Looks like Jung will remain off the field for a substitution. Waiting to see who gets possession here. Okay. Looks like they are calling it a foul on Melissa Dunbar. VANS will retain possession here. And play resumes. Big overhand throw there to Carolyn Churchland. Churchland moving it forward to Mason. VANS looking to convert this point. A bit of a floaty bid and knocked down. Not the kind of bid they wanted there, Grace.
No, I'm not sure where she was looking. Maybe just to throw to space, but not quite the execution of that throw that she wanted.
Well, Melissa Dunbar with a nice throw upfield. StellO's offense here getting back on track. Julie Vachon back to Jessie Brown and over to Melissa Dunbar. Back to Brown in the middle. Moving it, swinging it across the field and finding a nice movement up the sideline there to Alicia Zhao. A turnover, though. VANS getting another opportunity to find a point, closing the distance on this team. And like we said, the clock is ticking on this VANS team, and that is not the turnover they needed, Grace. StellO now back on track to build their lead. But another bit of an errant throw there, Grace.
Yeah, I think they're just maybe a bit tired out here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a timeout call maybe. Yep, there we are.
Wow. Grace, with the knowledge of the game here, knew a timeout was coming.
Everyone, I find when you see points like that, I know I've experienced it. The throws just aren't quite coming out how you want them to. They're good looks, but just with the heat, the little bit of exhaustion setting in, it's 3 long days in a row for these women. So it's you get a little tired when there's those long points and then you're not quite executing well. Timeout kind of can reset that a little bit and get the offense on track.
Well, VANS, they must be talking about how they can close the gap. They are still 3 points away. We've got StellO in the dark jerseys playing out of Ottawa. 3 points ahead. It is 8-5. VANS going to be starting with the disc. Laura Mason on the sidelines here. VANS will get to set up their offensive positions. And then StellO will get the opportunity to set up their defensive positions. We've seen a lot of success in plays after a timeout this tournament, Grace.
Yeah, it's been good so far. Timeouts seeming to be exactly what the offense needs to reset.
Laura Mason putting a forehand huck into the end zone. And it looks like Carolyn Churchland had an opportunity, but couldn't bring it down there.
Why'd you jinx them like that, Jamie?
I'm sorry. The commentator curse, perhaps. But nonetheless, StellO back on track. Melissa Dunbar moving it up the field. Contested catch there. Back to Dunbar and back to Quigley. Swinging it. Quick passes across the field here. Back to Dunbar. And it looks like we have a play or something called there.
Bit of a foul called on Betsy there. Just a little bit of contact on her person.
Okay. Swinging it over. Finding Alicia Zhao on the sidelines. Moving it up to Dunbar. Dunbar was looking upfield there. Looking like she's choosing to swing it back to the middle. And a dropped pass there. VANS now with an opportunity. Can they convert this point and bring themselves back into this game? Laura Mason swinging it across to Betsy Chan. Chan looking upfield. Good swing across over to Churchland. Churchland moving it up the sidelines. Clay now swinging it over to Chan, who continues it across. Churchland over to Mason and finds Fukuoka in the end zone. VANS one step closer to getting back into this game, Grace.
Yeah, she was wide open that whole red zone play, screaming at her team to give her the disc. Don't know where her mark was, her player was, just maybe poaching, but didn't work out too well for StellO there, and wide open in the end zone. VANS doing some really good lateral movement there, really swinging it with the handlers, looking upfield, but if it's not there, just keeping the disc moving back and forth across the field.
Well, we are seeing some high intensity out of these StellO players. Players like Dunbar, Brown, Quigley, hard cuts, lay out defensive efforts, but VANS able to score a point there, calling a timeout. We've talked about the heat, the exhaustion this late in the tournament. Ultimate, folks, is an exhausting sport if you've ever played it. These players are sprinting for an hour and a half during these games, over and over during the weekend. That's got to be a factor at this point in the tournament, Grace.
Absolutely, especially when you're playing on turf like this. It really heats up. It's hot out here. We have absolutely no trees or anything surrounding the turf, so it gets hot. It's about 30 degrees outside, so honestly about 35 on this turf, and I'm sure the players are feeling it. I'm not sure about Ottawa, but I know Vancouver weather is not this hot and sunny, so those Vancouver ladies, I'm sure, feeling the heat just a little bit.
I think you're right there, Grace. Well, sitting now 8 for the team from Ottawa. StellO over 6 for the team from Vancouver. VANS still needing to find some points here in order to tie up this game and give them a chance for the championship.
Yeah, VANS there pulled out a bit of a zone D, and it worked really well. I'm wondering if we'll see a little bit more of that at this point.
Okay, StellO's offense has been aggressive, has been effective this game. They're going to be looking to score a quick point here, maintain their lead, stay in control of this game. VANS defense here needs to find a turnover. Not a great start, though, with a pull out of bounds. So StellO gets to take it up and to the center of the field. Julie Vachon will be taking the disc here. Dropping it back to Jessie Brown. Moving it forward. And a continuation upfield for Alicia Zhao. Swinging it back into the middle there. Back to Zhao. Melissa Dunbar with the disc. and a play stoppage there. Grace, did you see what happened?
I think it was a foul called on Ashley Davison there.
We hear the horn there. Is that now a time cap on this game, Grace?
I don't believe on this game. I think we started a little bit behind time because of the medal ceremony. So
okay, so hopefully Van still has some time to catch up here. Jesse Brown working hard to make that catch. StellO looking to convert this point, choosing to swing it back into the middle for Julie Vachon. And Quigley putting it up and caught. Or not caught, excuse me. Dropped there.
as soon as she let that disc go, yelling, she knew that that wasn't the way she wanted that to come out.
Well, Vans now with an opportunity. Unfortunately, Jessica Rockcliffe put that throw a bit low, unable to be received. And StellO back in position to take a commanding lead in this game. Jesse Brown with the disc. Over to Melissa Dunbar. Those two have been working hard with this StellO offense. Swinging it over to Jackie Mann. And back to Dunbar, right on the end zone line here.
Ashley Davison, we saw a big bid in the end zone for a point, and this was her first point back out there after that. And I think she's just feeling it there. Tried to make a layout D on the disc and came up limping. I think we might not be seeing a whole lot more of her this game.
Well, we have an injury substitution there for Vans. And Dunbar right on the end zone line. Quick pass. Able to find MC Jacques for the conversion there. Ottawa moving ahead 9-6 over the team from Vancouver.
Yeah, StellO looking great out there, really moving the disc well and playing some hard defense. It's good to see these teams fighting hard like this. Van's not out of it. They've come back already once, and they're right there in it. Just a few little errors, and they need their D-line to come out strong and get a turn here. So let's see what their O can do and maybe set them up for a big D.
As you mentioned, we have seen comebacks in this tournament twice now. We've watched teams come back from 3 points, 4 points, even 5-point deficits to take the win in these games. StellO, though, with that intensity, what is Vans going to have to do to get past this team from Ottawa?
I think Van's offense is doing a pretty good job this half. They seem to have come out strong. It's just their D needs to get some turns and capitalize on them.
Well, here is an opportunity to try and keep pace with this StellO team. The Vans offense here going to need to find a point here. Looks like that's, a call there on the play.
It was an offside on the pull.
Okay, is that just the StellO players were a little bit ahead of the pull?
Yeah, you can't cross the plane of the end zone until the disc is released.
Well, Van's getting to take it in the center of the field. Moving it up to Jennifer Kwok. Kwok on the sidelines there. Finding Tui there. Tui moving it up to Short. Short moving it up the sidelines. Finds Lowe. Lowe over to Elias. Elias putting it over the top. Finding Short. Right on the end zone. And a beautiful throw to Maria Chow, who brings it down for Vans.
Van's offense looking great. They're using a lot of those break throws, and it's really leaving their cutters upfield wide open. Looking great out there.
Well, that brings VANS one step closer, but still a 2-point deficit here. It is 9 for the team from Ottawa to 7 from the team from Vancouver.
Yeah, Vans needing a big break here. They have been putting pressure on StellO, just not quite following through with it. So hopefully a big turn here and a break point for Vans.
VANS defense going to have to find a turnover here. We have seen StellO players willing to dive, throw themselves for those defensive efforts. It'll be interesting to see what VANS is capable or willing to do to make it happen here.
Absolutely, yeah, we saw a bit of that on that last play with that big bid from Ashley Davison. We need a little bit more of that, and then we need some conversions.
Hands are up. Players are ready, and the disc is up. StellO offense here, looking to extend their lead. Jesse Brown, center of the field. Dropping it back, and a give and go back to Jesse Brown. Swinging it over to Julie Vachon. Maureen Kaloum there, swinging it back over. Quigley there, swinging it over to Brown with a play on the field. This is going to go back to Quigley. And they say the stall count is at 6 seconds. So Quigley not having a lot of time here. Able to find Jesse Brown with a contested catch there. And finding Dunbar, losing ground here though, Grace.
Another pickup field here.
VANS pushing the StellO offense deeper into their own zone here.
Yeah, they've got hard D right now.
Well, Dunbar and Brown have been so good this game at moving the disc upfield. We'll see if they can get out of their own zone here. And of course, the VANS defense is looking for that turnover, and they would love to get a turnover this deep into the StellO zone.
Absolutely, that would be the dream for them.
Dunbar with the disc on the sideline, puts up a big flick, looking for Quigley. And a solid defensive effort there. Injury on the field. Play is halted. Number 66, Crystal Coe. Great defensive effort. Going to take an injury substitution there. Hopefully Coe is feeling fine. Just needs a break there. Do you think StellO maybe just wanted to get the disc out of their zone there?
Yeah, it is a good look. I mean, she's a great target deep, but just not the throw they were looking for.
Well, VANS now needs to convert this point. Pick called upfield.
VANS on the field calling pick, and then one of the VANS players saying there's 3 of you in some incredibly inconvenient spots.
Well, VANS needing to find this conversion here, and that is not what they needed. Tiffany Jung unable to catch that one. StellO swinging it over to the sidelines. Able to move it up to Jesse Brown. Looking to finish this off here. And chipping it over to Julie Vachon. Converting there, bringing the team from Ottawa, StellO's points to 10. 3 points over the Vancouver team's 7.
Yeah, StellO's looking pretty dominant out there right now. Really, even when they are turning it over on offense, really playing hard D and creating turnovers for VANS. So really hard fought game right now, and VANS needs to pick it up here if they want to stay in this game.
The StellO players are just seem to be giving it 100% on those cuts. What do you think, Grace?
Absolutely, they're not looking tired out there. They're moving quickly and still looking for those deep throws, and still moving fast, and still putting a lot of pressure on defensively. We'll see when this pole goes up, they're absolutely sprinting downfield so that first throw isn't an easy first throw.
We have seen that the whole game. They've been able to seemingly put their poles a little bit deeper than VANS and get down there just a little bit faster. Isn't that right, Grace?
That's absolutely right. They're pushing hard here, and we'll get a good view of it again. These women are hustling.
Well, here comes the pole. It is up. And we can see them hustling down there. Maybe not as fast as they were earlier in the game, but nonetheless putting some pressure on this VANS offense. Moving it up to Tui. And Tui hucks it right away, but looks like it drifted out of bounds. Allison Short there making a good deep cut, but unable to bring that one down, out of bounds. StellO now trying to take control. Well, they have control of this game, trying to extend their lead. Forehand put to the center of the field. Good distance gain there. Fortan there with the disc. Fortan moves it up to Tanis. Tanis over to Lee. Back to Jaffrey. Jackie Mann with the disc, looking to convert, dropping it back to Tanis, and Tanis puts it up. And a layout catch there. Number 15, Lauren Polowick.
Don't know if we can quite call that a layout. That was my form of a layout where you're just momentum just takes you and it tips you over a little bit. Bit of a fall down there, but still a great cut and a great look.
Fantastic effort there by Polowick, moving the Ottawa team StellO 11-7, 4 points ahead of VANS here. This is a big deficit this late in the game, Grace.
Yeah, especially time ticking away, and it's looking like VANS, if they don't start getting some serious points and some serious breaks, is just a little bit too late to the game here.
Time is not in the Vancouver team's favor here. They need to find 4 points as quickly as they can, and we have seen just how difficult that is to do against this StellO team from Ottawa.
Yes, a little bit of a zone there again from VANS. Seemed to work out pretty well, but StellO's offense is really clean, and they're making it look good out there.
Well, VANS offense here has the opportunity to score a quick point here. I'm sure they'd love to do that. But here we see that defensive line from StellO racing down there, and the disc drifts into the VANS end zone. Oh, a little collision midfield, though. Jenny Lowe catching the disc on the sideline for VANS. Looks like they're discussing exactly what happened there. Stephanie Cole there from StellO talking with the observers and the other players.
Just having a bit of a discussion. She's saying she absolutely would not have gotten to the disc, but on her way to catch up to the mark, got hit by the VANS player. So they're just discussing whether or not she does get to catch back up because of the foul. So we'll see what happens here.
Of course, players cannot move when a foul is called, but if it is deemed fair, they may be given a better field position, as we see there. Nonetheless, VANS retains possession. Jenny Lowe on the sidelines, moving it forward, but not caught by Crystal Coe. StellO on the sidelines with a quick pickup and converted there, brought down by MC Jacques.
It was a really nice throw there. The wind's picked up just a bit, and it's not looking like it's having really any effect on the players. They're still putting out some beautiful throws.
Fantastic throw and catch there by the StellO players. MC Jacques bringing that one down. It is 12-7 now for the Ottawa team. Grace, what does VANS need to do? Do they have an opportunity here?
Calling a bit of a timeout right here from VANS. I think just having a discussion, figuring out how they can possibly stop this dominant StellO team right now. I'm not sure what the answer is for them. I think it's just a little bit late in the game, but they're pushing hard, and I'm sure they can make StellO work harder for it.
We've seen how quickly points can be scored in this game. VANS is going to have to find some quick points after this timeout, Grace.
Yeah, their offense seeming not to be the issue. It's more their defense. They're just not quite having an answer for StellO. And at this point in the game, they need some of those breaks. And to catch back up, you can't do it just holding. So VANS really, really needing to score some quick points and then come out with some hard defense and get some breaks.
We've seen now a couple just missed throws, dropped catches, and so close to your own end zone. StellO able to quickly convert those mistakes, punish those mistakes, extend their lead. VANS is going to have to do something special. Isn't that right, Grace?
Absolutely, they will. They're going to come out strong here with some O's. So let's see what they can bring.
We can see them giving a cheer after the timeout, taking the line. I'm sure those players understand what's at stake here. Gold medals feel a lot better than silver medals. Isn't that right, Grace?
Absolutely, they do. I'm sure everyone here would like to go home with that gold medal. And right now, it's looking like StellO has it almost on lock.
Well, looks like both lines are ready. Here comes the pull for StellO. VANS receiving the disc. Can this team out of Vancouver make something special happen here and come back into this game? Looking upfield here. Moving it up the sidelines to Laura Mason. Mason swinging it back into the middle. VANS moving it upfield. Parker puts a huck up into the end zone, and it is brought down by Laura Mason. That is a good start to their comeback, Grace.
That's a great throw by Parker there, and a wide open run on receiver there. So it was a beautiful put.
Well, that is just step one of what VANS needs to do to come back into this game. Really quick point there, quick conversion. Now, as we've been saying throughout this game, it is really the job of the VANS defense now to find an answer for this StellO offense. Players like Dunbar, Brown, Quigley have been so effective with the disc. What do they need to do to find an answer to these players?
Yeah, I'm not sure their zone D was working quite well for them, so maybe they're going to come out in that again and just create a turn, put a little pressure on these StellO ladies.
With the zone, they're not sort of marking each player directly. They're more taking a part of the field. Is that correct, Grace?
Yeah, just stopping those hucks right off the bat and just making them think just a little bit more about each pass and typically making them throw a lot more passes. And in the heat, when you're a bit tired, the more passes you have, sometimes it's to your detriment.
Well, a solid pull there. And we can see that VANS defense hustling down there, trying to get some early pressure. Jesse Brown moving it up to Quigley. Back to Brown. Brown looking to upfield. Elects for a shorter toss back to Quigley on the sideline. Quigley swings it back to the middle for Zhao. And over to Maureen Kulum. Back to Dunbar. Dunbar puts up a floaty bid, and Alicia Zhao able to chase that down, lay out, and catch that disc.
That's the third point. At least we've seen those break throws to space in the end zone, and they are working out very well for StellO. Beautiful throws, and as an upfield cutter, those are the dream. You just run right onto them. It's on the break side, so quite often your downfield mark is out of position. So really an easy catch there. Well, hard catch for her, but really good spot and nice break throws here.
Well, Melissa Dunbar and Alicia Zhao may have just put the dagger in this VANS team. I don't know what you think, Grace.
Yeah, I think so. It's a hard comeback when the offense of StellO is moving the disc so well like that.
It is 13-8 for the team from Ottawa, StellO, over VANS out of Vancouver. Vancouver offense here still has an opportunity to get a quick point. We saw how quickly they were able to convert just last time they had the opportunity. I'm sure they'd love to do that again. And a good start here, able to take the disc to the center of the field as it was pulled out of bounds. It'll be Maria Chow taking the disc in the center of the field for VANS. Disc is swung over to Jennifer Nichols. Nichols moves up the field back to Chow, and Chow looking to finish it here. And it is caught by Allison Short. Excellent movement up the sideline there, Grace.
It was beautiful, yeah, and that throw just coming out so clean, and just she's a great downfield cutter. It's a real dream to throw to her. So, and oh, sorry, VANS looking good out there that point.
Well, the VANS offense in the last few points have had no troubles finding some quick points, but it truly is the defense that needs to find an answer for this StellO offense, which has been so effective, so few mistakes made, so powerful with the likes of some of these players we've been talking about: Brown, Dunbar, Quigley, Zhao. VANS is going to have to, as we've been saying, do something remarkable here to turn this game around. Ottawa sitting 2 points away from a gold medal right now.
VANS have been doing a good job with that zone defense, and they're doing a really good job stopping Dunbar's break throws. She got a few in a row there on them, and since then they've seemed to put a little bit of a hold on those.
Well, we got Jesse Brown back in the middle of the field, moving it up to Quigley. Quigley moving it up to Dunbar. Dunbar on the sidelines. Swinging it back over to Julie Vachon. Vachon swinging it over to Hartley. Hartley putting up a forehand. Able to be brought down, and it is put up to Quigley, who catches it in the end zone Ottawa, the team from Ottawa, StellO, is just 1 point away from winning the women's division championship here.
Yeah, another beautiful put. Sorry, there's a wasp again. Sorry, streamers online. Yeah, another beautiful put, and this offense is great. They're really looking at those matchups deep, and those women are wide open in the end zone.
That is a powerful offensive line from StellO. No answer to it from VANS, and they are running out of time here. They are up against the ropes. StellO has the opportunity to close this out. If they can find a break point, they will be ending this game 15-9. VANS looking to hang in there. Little discussion on the line here. Let's see, is StellO going to do their huge pull and charge as they've been doing? Or do you think they're maybe ready to relax a little bit?
Absolutely not. VANS is not a team you can relax on. A bunch of really skilled players.
Well, you are correct. They are charging down there, putting some pressure on VANS. VANS moves it on up to Laura Mason on the sideline here. Moving it up, a little bit of a stumble there.
I would say that was a bit more than a stumble. I would say that was full-blown contact there from the StellO player, just all over the VANS offensive player.
Looks like MC Jacques aware that that was her contact, her fault, and immediately gives the disc back, but MC Jacques hands the disc over and takes it right back with a great defensive effort. StellO now able to close this game out right now if they can convert this point. Game has resumed, swinging it back into the middle and all the way over. Fortan looking upfield. Back over to Jaffrey. Jaffrey looking upfield and puts it up. Couldn't bring it down. Fortan reaching for it, but far over her head.
It didn't really look back at her handlers there. She was still looking upfield, and high stall count just kind of put it in hopes that somebody could come down with it.
Oh, we have an injury call. Laura Mason going off the field. Not sure what went wrong there for her. But we have a substitution. And looks like StellO going to take a substitution as well, putting on Jessie Brown. We saw the last substitution Jessie Brown came on. She got a turnover and then caught it in the end zone. Perhaps Jessie Brown looking to close out this game right now. VANS having to drop it back. Moving it back up to center. And a big huck out of reach from Nicola Parker, who was racing down there. StellO on offense here. Again, looking to finish this game here, looking to find that 15th point. Jessie Brown will be starting on the sideline for StellO. Swinging it back into the middle here and over again to find Jaffrey. Jaffrey moving up the field to Rachel Ng. Some quick passes back to Ng in the center and right back across. Back to the middle of the field. Good forward movement there for MC Jacques. Jacques finds Jessie Brown. And Brown puts it up. And it is brought down for the win by MC Jacques. StellO, the team from Ottawa, is your Open Division Ultimate Canada Masters champions.
Women's division here, but yeah, it's a Beautiful, beautiful finish to the game. And StellO really looked dominant that whole game. Vans came out half hot, did score a few points, really caught back up. Looked like they were in the game, but StellO shutting that down pretty quickly and finished the game pretty dominant there.
Vans played incredible, but had no answer for the intensity from StellO. They took control early and held on to that control. The team from Ottawa going home with gold medals. Looks like we had Vancouver team win the Open Division. The East Coast team, if you can call Ottawa East Coast, taking home the gold medal in the women's division.
Yeah, we'll see what happens coming up with the mixed stream. We have the mixed finals coming up next, so we'll see who takes that. Whether East Coast or West Coast takes the cake there.
Well, join us. We will be starting at 3 p.m. for the mixed division finals. This has been so exciting, Grace. Grace Freiheit with me. I'm Jamie Ihaxi. This action is brought to you by Discraft, BE Ultimate, and Ultimate Canada. Please join us for the mixed division finals. We will be back after a short break. Thank you.